everybody. It is that time again. Can you believe it's that time again already?
No, it goes so fast. We have such a great time every day.
Just like that. And here's to Drinks with Dee Dee
and John.
That's me. Here we go. Love you. Great week. We made it. We tempted fate again. And that's good.
It is good. It's Tito's vodka and pomegranate juice. It's supposed to be really good for you.
And with one big ice cube.
Vodka as much.
And we've got these amazing.
Oh, yes.
Well, vodka is supposed to be better for you than any of the other things.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. No calories, nothing.
Okay.
We got these next door, and by next door, we mean that brick wall.
Yeah, Rhonda.
Next door.
Rhonda's store is called Fine Threads, and she has everything. Glasses, umbrellas, women's clothes.
And Fine Threads.
Fine Threads, yeah.
And a bunch of kids stuff there, too. I see families there.
Oh, yeah, the little bitty, cute clothes.
So if you're in the market for stuff that's kind of Oshkosh by gosh, but I think better or certainly more unique, then you got to go to, what is it called? Simply Threads?
Fine Threads.
Fine Threads. I'm sorry.
I was thinking of
an 80s band. Simply Threads. Lady
now we're in Threads.
Who's dancing with me?
If I got that wrong, then we'll correct it next week. But thank you, Rhonda. We love the glasses.
We do. And they're they're double, they're really cool. I don't know if you can tell.
Corkicle? Is that how you say it?
Corsicle?
Like corsicle. I bet that's it.
Corsicle?
Like a popsicle. Corsicle.
Well,
that's the brand.
So, yeah, so it's hollow. So I'm not sure how they do that. Because, anyway, it's a great glass, and it feels good in your hand. Mm-hmm.
And they also do sort of those sippy things. You know, the great big...
Sippy cups?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, no, like a... yeah, for your hotter alcohol. Oh, you mean like a Yeti?
Thing. Yeah.
Like a Yeti.
Yeah.
Those Yetis are amazing.
I think these
are... we've been watching... I was out here working, doing something in the fire pit or something. By the way, we are going to put a porch right here. We're kind of on a porch now, but it's just really the roof of the floor below.
Well, we have the enclosed porch, which is really great.
Yeah, that's great. But the days are beautiful. You know, now it's beautiful. It's getting into this really gorgeous time of the year.
You see behind us, Kentucky.
So we are building a porch out here, really specifically for the podcast, so we can be out here and not be worried about, I don't know if you can see, I think you kind of can. That's the edge. We don't want to go over there.
Now we've got a railing. They're going to build a railing. It's going to be great. Right.
Yeah, they're going to build a porch. It's going to be flat, it's going to be level, not like this. This is made to shed water, and that's what it does. So we're going to have a porch, and it's going to be that great material that is, I think, what people do with all those water bottles that, there's supposed to be an island of water bottles somewhere twice the size of
Hawaii?
No.
Antarctica?
No, the little state.
Oh, Rhode Island.
Twice the size of Rhode Island. But that's what they always say. Disney World has a parking lot twice the size of Rhode Island. I don't know why they do all that.
Speaking of which, we can now talk about the 50-state tour that we're going to do. That John Schneider...
It's going to be so much fun.
Will be doing a show. We won't say what kind of show for every state because it won't be different. Rhode Island should be different than Hawaii. Alaska should be different than Texas. And it won't be, but we'll hit all 50 states.
Yep.
And guess where we're going to start?
Right back there.
Right back here. Madison.
Right back there on the actual early wee hours of the morning on the 4th of July, which is the first day in the
tour
365-day celebration of the 250th anniversary of this great country. So we're going to start probably 11:15, 11:30, but as soon as it gets straight up midnight, we're going to stop. We're all going to stand up and sing Happy Birthday to America, maybe sing the national anthem together, possibly. I think that'll be a lot of fun. Right out there, and then that's the 4th, and then the next day is the regatta, right? So the regatta.
No. I'm so sorry, honey. The regatta, the boat race itself is Sunday. So there's the parade and the fireworks and that sort of thing, and then the boat race. But it's a whole thing. I mean, the regatta, Madison Regatta is so much fun. There was a movie about it called Madison that Jim Caviezel, John's very good friend. I met Jim. We've been to his home for dinner. but he's a very good friend of John's, and you did a racing movie with him.
No, we did a race.
Oh, you did an actual
No,
race?
we did a real race.
Oh,
Yeah,
my.
we did the Silver
Where
State
was that?
Classic Challenge, and it was kind of fun because what he was reading while we were doing the Silver State was the book that 6 months or so later became the movie, The Passion of the Christ. So he was reading that and brushing up on his Aramaic when we were going 147 miles an hour, 150 miles an hour in what car? The General Lee, of course, the one I had years ago that had the 511 Hemi in it. Very, very fast car, amazing car. I wish I could track that car down because that I had done work on the suspension. That I had that car 169 miles an hour during that race, not the one with Jim in it. It was actually look up this guy. He's amazing. His name is Lee Priest, bodybuilder, Australian, Mr. Olympia, I think, a couple times. Anyway, he was my co-pilot once, and we came in very, very close to winning. We actually came in fourth, and we were only 0.3 of a second off a perfect time, and we came in fourth.
You know, I was just thinking that I think it would be so hard to race the hydroplanes, the boats. And you've seen the movie, and
Yeah.
I've seen the boats race, but John, I don't think you have, right? The hydroplanes yet?
I saw the
Never
hydroplanes
seen
race when I was a little kid.
Okay.
Because somebody in my
To
family.
make those turns, it's like, looks so
Yeah,
dangerous.
yeah. Somebody in my family, and I was too young, but I remember seeing 16 millimeter film of me in Bradenton, Florida,
Mm-hmm.
and my grandparents on my dad's side had they managed a set of, you'd call them Airbnbs now. They were cottages for the snowbirds, I guess, the folks who were escaping the snow down there in Bradenton. And there's footage, and I'm about this tall, and I'm really admiring this cigarette boat. You know, the one that looks kind of like a what are those rocks you call? I'm forgetting my words.
I think those are longer and
They're
skinnier.
skinny in the back, but then they're real wide in the front, like a oh gosh, when you collect, you find rocks that are arrowheads, like an arrowhead. They look kind of like an arrowhead. But it was red, it was beautiful. And then when I saw the movie Madison, actually when I first came here, there was a big speedboat down there just on its side.
Still there.
Advertising the fact that they do that here. And where we just had lunch.
There's a boat on the wall.
There's a boat on the wall that says Miss Madison. So I don't know if that was in the movie or if that was one of the Miss Madisons from
I think it was.
time gone by.
Yeah, I think it was one of the old ones.
Yep.
It's pretty
Where
cool.
were we? What's the name of the place next door?
Tap room, the
tap room.
off-Broadway tap room. And we eat there a lot. They're great.
Had a Greek salad with chicken in it in a wrap. Very, very good.
I had shrimp tacos. They were so good. But a lot of hot sauce. And they had these fermented onions, which were really kind of hard to eat, but they were really good. They're good for you. And I do.
I hope so.
Well, I know. I'm like, ugh, because
They can't smell it.
I know, but I'm going to explain why my eyes are watering, why I'm coughing a little, because we really do have a little fire over here. We burn paper. Oops, are we allowed to do that?
Yes, we are.
No, we are. We are. So,
I checked it out.
yeah.
We
So,
burn paper and we burn photographs of people we no longer want to see. We do a little sacrificial ritual out here
so bad.
on the back porch.
Mm.
Hey,
We have fun back
why
here.
not? You know, they say you're supposed to do that with bad habits. Write them down,
And
burn
invert
them
it.
up,
Yeah.
and kiss them goodbye.
Well.
Same thing with bad people.
There you go.
We're going to be burning. We're going to be burning.
People who need people.
Burn people. Yeah, so, well, the fire went out. I didn't do a very good job.
Well, I was starting to not be able to breathe. So actually, thank you for setting it, the timer. That's really great.
But I really want that fire to be going. I'll fix that
Well,
afterwards.
and after we're done. But
And we're going to have one of those fire pits with glass in it, the propane fire pits out here. It'll be great. Be really, really nice.
it will be. So we have already received a lot of suggestions from all of you. You're so smart and so creative. I mean, a ton of suggestions of where to go
Yes.
for the tour. Because it's a challenge. It's going to be a puzzler because, we want to hit all 50 states. And how many weeks are in a year? 52.
52.
Oh, I thought it was 52.
No, it's 52.
Yeah. So,
I was saying that for dramatic effect.
Oh.
50.
You're so dramatic.
2. Well,
How However, we're going
it
to
does.
be creative. And in certain areas of the country, it's easy to do a few states in a day or a week or whatever. And others out west, it's going to be a challenge, but we're going to make it work. So any suggestions you have, we would love to hear them. Venues, and obviously with the venue, we'll get the city, or people
Right.
who would like to host, or people that would like to be involved, or anything historical, whatever. We're open to whatever, because these are shows. These are birthday celebrations for our country. And of course, we know that the sesquicentennial is really 2026, but we're starting here early, and then we're going to land on the actual birthday. So we're going to celebrate for a year,
Yep.
because our country's worth it. She is worth it.
She's worth it. They did it for Mickey Mouse. Actually, for Mickey Mouse's 50th, I think it was the 50th. Yep, they celebrated the year before, the day of, and the year after. How about that?
I think some people might
Mickey
do that.
Mouse. I can have a long birthday.
Very nice.
Thank you.
Can you do Donald Duck too?
I can't say words. I
How
can
about
do
Goofy?
Gorge.
Wow, you're good. You are
Gorge.
quite talented.
Well,
I don't think there's anything that you can't do.
can't build a
I
fire.
could say it differently. There's nothing
Can't build a fire.
you can't do. You can do everything.
I used to say that at the studio when there were people, sometimes there are, like in California, there are people who set fires. And everybody in Livingston Parish knew that if anybody ever accused me of arson, it couldn't be me, because one thing Snyder cannot do is start a damn fire. Couldn't do it. I couldn't do it with a box of matches, a newspaper, and a can of gasoline.
Well, I think
which
it's
I don't
a little
recommend,
bit wet.
by the way.
I think the fire step on the bottom's a little bit wet.
If you're going to use anything like that to start a fire, never, ever, ever use gasoline. Okay, ever. I saw some people at the studio do it once. It was bad. Diesel is okay.
Did they keep their eyebrows?
No.
Oh.
Nope. No hair on the back of their arms. No hair on their
Look
eyebrows.
good without eyebrows. Back in the day, the women do that and they draw them
just draw
on.
them
It's
on.
scary. That's very scary looking.
Who did I work with that did that? I swear she did that.
I could never do that. At one time, in the early days, I thought I could do it myself. It was so bad. So now I have people do that. Like they just wax.
People draw my eyebrows on.
Well, your eyebrows are really quite something.
Mine don't need to be drawn.
Because yours
I worked with this woman. Oh, she was amazing. But what she did is her eyebrow, I don't know if she shaved them off or there just weren't any there, but her eyebrows, when her face was relaxed, looked hopeful, looked kind of like that. So what that did was it made her, and she was very, very kind. It made her seem, very, very kind and lovely and concerned. But boy, when she got mad because her eyebrows defaulted to hopeful and nice, it gave a very scary look on her, which worked wonderfully for acting.
When I think
Daly.
Scary.
Tyne Daly.
Oh, I think Scary.
Tyne Daly. She's amazing.
She is. What was that show they did? The cop show? I don't remember.
Cagney and Lacey.
Oh, that's it. Well done.
Yep. Well, I did Christie with her. There was it was a series for a while, and then something happened, and I wound up getting the rights to it. And I did, as a producer, I did 3 television movies on Christie, which was great. Great show. We shot that in the hills of Tennessee.
Nice. The only thing better would be the hills of Kentucky, where we have been recently at Hazard.
Look, you didn't want to be on this side. I'm in the sun now.
Oh.
See?
You look good in the sun now.
You're going to be in the sun.
Already, I'm blind in the sun because my eyes are really light.
Blinded by the light.
I cannot see in the sun at all. But this is great. We're having a wonderful time out here and excited about our porch.
We just got home 2 days ago, and we've already played golf. We played golf yesterday. We got in the whole round. We were afraid it was going to rain on us because, people are looking at their phones and they believe that nonsense.
It was 2 hours later.
Yeah, it was fine. It rained for about 30 seconds.
At 1, and then
it rained enough to put my fire out.
Oh yeah, it rained. But
even on the movie we just shot, we were out on the back porch. We had a very long scene, like a 6-page scene to do. And they were lamenting because, their phone said it was going to rain in 30 minutes. They were going to go in, they were going to go inside because their phone said it was going to rain. I said,
Hollywood people, they believe that stuff.
It's beautiful. No, I don't know. The phone says, and I said, but you know what? I have an app on my phone. If I take it outside and the screen is wet, it's raining. Yeah. But other than that, so anyway, we shot the whole thing over the period of like 6 hours and not a drop. not a drop of rain. So there you go.
And
Trust
that
your
was fun.
instincts.
John wrapped that up. So
So
we
much
were
fun.
Charlie
Wonderful
Tilton,
people.
little Charlene, and then and she is little. She's a little wee one. And
Wee
then
one.
yeah,
Wee one.
she's a wee one.
She's a powerhouse, though.
Yeah, she was great. And everybody was great. The
Oh, yeah.
cast was great, and the crew, and that was a really nice job.
Yep.
And Lexington's beautiful. And then the horse farm, now we can say, was in Paris.
Was in Paris. It was, can we say which one?
Maybe. I'm probably not.
Probably not. Okay, so anyway, it was a great horse farm in Paris near the restaurant where we showed you the trackside depot where we
It
had.
was amazing.
Oh, gosh, so good. Food was so good.
Pick ass or ass
Ass.
kick. Oh my God, I can't believe
Aspic.
I turned it around.
Aspic.
Aspic. But it still sounds strange.
Aspic. It
Aspic.
sounds more like a color, like
Tomato
ashen.
aspic. But it was really good.
Sounds like something you do with
We
chopsticks.
mentioned that before, but I never had it.
It was great. And then now lately, yesterday we were watching, I'm out here doing something.
Oh,
And I hear
yeah.
her, she's just hysterical. And it's, I walk in and there's President Trump with the crown prince of Saudi Arabia. And they are, I don't know that they were dancing, but they're.
The YMCA. And I was like, are you kidding me?
We're hearing the village people
They're
saying,
doing-
young man.
I couldn't believe it. I
It
mean,
was great.
I won't say all the reasons why that was hilarious, but it just was that they were playing dun 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 dun.
Not
dun,
a song,
dun.
probably, that the crown
And
prince
all
of
the
Saudi
sheiks
Arabia
are
had.
there, and the guards are like, what is that? I mean, it was so hilarious. That was fun.
But
That
you
was
know
fun
what
to
it
watch.
says? What is so cool is it's not because that song is so much fun. You can't get upset with it.
But it's
Really.
so not Saudi Arabia for many reasons.
But what it says is we're here. The United States is here. Donald J. Trump, President
And they
Donald J.
embraced him.
Trump is here, and yes, we take everything very, very seriously. But we also want to enjoy ourselves. He loves making deals, and I tell you, every deal that he's made so far, even this one that is going down with China right now, everybody wins in a Donald Trump deal. Donald Trump is not about screwing you out of something. He is, look,
He's a deal maker.
we're going to do it.
Everybody loses, but everybody wins
Obviously,
too.
obviously, it's America first. So my negotiations are going to be, they're going to lean toward America. But he understands that everybody needs to win. Everybody needs to participate. Everybody needs to go away. No, we weren't at all.
We were getting screwed. That's what he kept
completely
saying.
screwed.
And that's how he would say. He goes, America is just getting screwed over.
Yeah.
This is crazy. We're getting the bad deals. So even if the deals were equal, we win. Because we're paying, everyone's afraid. It was terrible. I mean, I think, we've discussed many times all the corruption and all the wasted money. But with these countries, now they respect Donald Trump when they go, oh, no, we're not going to do it. And like 5 minutes later, okay.
Well, they just brought the hostage back. And I heard somebody on MSNBS say, well, what did we have to give for the hostage? And we had to give for this hostage? Nothing. Because President Donald J. Trump said, if you don't return
it's not going to be
this
pretty.
man, there will be hell to pay.
And they believed him. How about that?
And they do believe him because he does not lie. And I know 4 people just fell off the couch because of all those bullshit indictments and because of stormy weather, whatever the hell her name is. But it's just
stormy weather.
What I'm noticing is that it is not only he talked a lot during his campaign about peace through strength, but also now that he's there and he is exhibiting the strength that we all knew he had, he is now exhibiting, and nobody's coined this yet, but it's peace through good humor. The fact that they were there on that stage in that country,
you could tell they were enjoying it.
Dignitaries there, you could tell they were. The look on the crown prince's face wasn't like, "Oh my God, what are we doing?" It was like, you know what? This is bitching. This is bitching. I'm having a good time. I'm having a good time.
It was so fabulous.
So what is going to happen? I want to. Since we are finding out that many of us were right with regard to the COVID, to the vaccination, to the value of masks, to the value of social distancing and all that, we're finding out. I think, I don't know if you agree with this or not. I think largely what that was. Yes, there was COVID did exist. There was a strain of super pneumonia that was a terrible thing because I know people that died from it and rather quickly, but not quick enough because it was terribly painful and awful for them. So I'm not discounting. I'm not saying that didn't exist.
But a lot of people died from the jab.
Well, a lot of people died from the jab after. But Paul, case in point, my thought though is that they did all of that stuff. You remember your feelings when it started to happen? I did a YouTube post where I said, it's very easy to give up a little bit of freedom, then you'll give up a little more and a little more and a little more. And it's really easy to do that, but it's very difficult, if not impossible, to get it back once you've done that. So I think, what did it go dim? Still working. Tony will call us if it's not. I think what they were doing is is it called a Litmus test?
Litmus. 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 Litmus.
A litmus test to see just
how much they could get away with.
What we would do when we were told how good little sheeple we would be. I was not a sheeple at all. I didn't get the shot. I told Dee Dee the only time I wore a mask is when I had to go into Love's to buy fuel for the motorhome because the pump, you couldn't pay at the pump.
Well,
Something wasn't working.
Once you go into, it depends on what state you were in.
Or if there was an elderly person that ran like a curio shop or something that I went into on Route 66,
and they freaked out.
They had it on, and they asked, and absolutely,
well, it's their place. You should respect their rules.
True.
But I have to tell you, and I think I mentioned this before, that we were in LA and New York, had homes in LA and New York, and LA was Armageddon, and I'm like, we got to get out of here. And I'm telling you, you couldn't go to a grocery store, you couldn't go in a restaurant, the hospitals were full. It was scary. So I'm like, got to get out of here, got to have a safe place. Came to Madison, and one day bought this place, and you know what? Everybody on the street was happy, outside, hanging out. It was normal. It was total opposite of I'm sure New York as well. I didn't really experience COVID in New York until after, but it was bad too, because right after, these businesses had trouble recovering. I mean, in Midtown, this is like maybe one of the richest neighborhood in the world. One of them, Manhattan, Midtown Manhattan, and they had graffiti.
Shut down.
And they have these like homeless what? And then of course those bubbles. Remember those bubbles where they have the restaurant? Oh, that's going to work really well. It was so stupid. Let's put the mask on and go in, and then take it off of the table. Oh yeah, that's going to work. The dumbest stuff.
And don't require. Here was a great one. Went to dinner in Zuma Beach with Jack Gill and his lovely wife Brittany. And I'm sorry, Brittany Morgan.
She is gorgeous.
And
do you hear the church?
Waiting outside. I'm not going to lose my train of thought.
Okay.
Waiting outside. Little channeling my inner Captain Kirk. Bill Shatner. Why, Spock? Why? But we had to wear masks outside. I had to borrow one from them because I didn't have any. And so once we got into the where we made our reservation before, once we got there, still had to wear the mask. Once you got to your table, you could take the mask off because somehow COVID has manners. COVID knows if you're sitting,
space,
and that's okay, right? But as I was waiting from the desk to the table, two people masked up. I think one of them had 16 masks, like Fauci recommended. The only mask I want on Fauci is the one they put over his head.
Yeah, because he does test on beagles too. It's disgusting.
Terrible.
By the way.
So, two people wearing their masks walked through the restaurant with their golden Labradors, and I love puppies, love puppy dogs. And I don't know, I think it would be silly to put masks on dogs, but since we had to wear our masks, and those people who were now mobile had to wear their masks because they weren't sitting at their magically protected table anymore, But their dogs didn't have masks on and didn't have anything on their feet. These are dogs. And you know, it used to be, unless you were at a little shop in Paris, that you couldn't bring a dog in. Now you can bring dogs in everywhere. But
So,
tell
honey,
me,
what do you think about that?
who believed?
Bringing dogs in.
I think it's just
I think
wrong.
it's gross.
I think
And
it's. And I love dogs.
I do too, but they put the dogs in the chair next to it, and the dogs like have like their chin and nose like on the freaking table.
Yeah, I don't think it's right.
Yeah, that's
Well,
more
but dogs'
LA.
mouths
They
are
would do
cleaner
that in
than
LA.
people's mouths.
No, they're not.
BS.
Yeah,
It's
you
just
know what they
BS.
lick. I'm not going to say it, but you know
That's
what dogs lick. They are not clean. No way, Jose.
I
Forget
can't
it.
believe you went there.
Well, but that's the thing. It's gross because I'm seeing
What's
the
that
dog
old
with
joke?
the nose on the table.
Why the hell does he do that? Well, I'm thinking because he can.
But everyone knows what I'm talking about. That is why dogs should not be able to be in restaurants. But in LA, I specifically remember this. They put the freaking dogs in the chair, and they're like there. And sometimes they'll just feed them, and I'm like, are you kidding me? Gross.
So tell me, does anybody believe really anymore that those masks did anything? The best analogy I heard was they said thinking that that mask is going to stop this killer virus from getting into your system is like thinking you can stop a fire hose with a chain link fence. Okay? So
And I believe that herd
we
mentality.
knew, and I think
herd mentality, herd
immunity.
Immunity. Thank you.
Yeah,
Because
what the
then
hell
you
is
gotta
that?
build up an immunity. I mean, and I feel so sorry for these poor little kiddos that were like, I don't know, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and they would have to go to school and they couldn't even breathe or talk or whatever. And they'd have to keep them
Oh, and
on
by the
all
way,
day
what
long.
you exhale it for a reason. So if the mask is keeping bad
It's
things from
keeping
getting in, it's also keeping bad things from going out. So, you know, what is going to happen with that? Those little kiddos right
I
there.
feel sorry for the kids that had to go through that.
3, 4 years old when their lungs were first developing. Maybe they'll be stronger because of it.
I doubt it.
Because they had. What
It
that
was just
was,
so
but I didn't
hard
want
for them. I mean, you know, they
and they didn't get to go to
social down, They
graduation.
didn't get to do anything. It was well, those were older, but still,
Well,
that was
still,
traumatic as well. That was traumatic as well.
They put on a billboard somewhere. They put their names, and you know, that was great.
Now, you chose not to go to graduation.
I was working.
You were working. I loved graduation. I loved high school and college. I had so much fun. I'm still trying to get my master's degree. So hopefully, Ben
trying to get my GED. No, I got it. Somebody was trying to sell it somewhere, but I got it. A what?
A GED.
I have a GED. GED.
Yeah, you do. GED. But you don't need that. I mean, look, you're so smart. Some people do not need.
No, I'm not smart. I'm driven.
You are driven and talented and beautiful. You have all these talents that most people do not. You can really do everything.
Oh, don't stop.
What can you not do? Yesterday, he killed it in pool. We played golf.
I did okay. One game I couldn't get
John
nothing.
is great at pool.
But then I was better.
I mean, I can.
And you are great.
No, I'm not. I can hold. I can hold my own with golf.
She doesn't aim. She comes up like she's going to go, and then bam. It's like, what the hell? And it either goes in or not. Obviously, that's one of those BS statements like, well, you know, it's what is that thing people say? Drives me crazy.
Your love is driving me crazy.
That's not it. Oh, it may or may not be. Well, tell me, what in the world may or may not be?
We have our own little Name That Tune or something like that.
We do. Name that tune. There's nothing in the world ever before, ever will be that is not, that may or may not be. Hate that.
What are you talking? Oh, that phrase. Yeah.
That phrase. It's
I can't even follow it. It is stupid. It's just.
I think I did that in Poker Run. I think Cody said, well, when you think of it, everything either may or may not be. It's true.
And that makes no sense whatsoever.
What he said makes sense, but the other makes no sense. What he said makes sense because I wrote it.
Either because you can talk about things that you love, and we should do a segment. Probably start doing a segment of what bugs you, and what makes you happy or something, and make it a little more clever.
Let's start right now. What bugs me? What bugs me is people on MSNBS and CBS and ABC now blaming the Biden press corps for disguising his cognitive decline.
But they did. I blame them too.
But they knew it. But now they're saying,
I think they deserve the blame, though.
Well, but it's a cop out because these people said with absolute assurity on all of these fake news networks
Oh, he's fine.
that Biden was absolutely
He's like
fine.
Superman.
So what they're saying is, oh well, that's the information they gave it. No, you're a journalist, you whack
are
job.
not, yeah.
You're a journalist. You're supposed to go there and do your research, come up with your own opinion, not just spout out the opinion given to you by the worst administration in the history of our country.
Honey, I'm glad you brought that up, and here's why.
Okay, thank you.
George
Oh, it's
Clooney.
warm over here. George Clooney.
George Clooney was like, Biden didn't recognize him, and he's like, what the heck? Now, I am just saying that that's what he said, but he's thinking the balloon above his head. What the heck? And he brought it up, and then guess what? They got rid of him because George Clooney was the beginning of that, or that's what it seemed to be. And they were all mad at him. They're like, he's a pariah. George, you screwed us up, blah, blah. And then guess what?
He was my hero for a little while.
But well, he's my hero now because he did that, and he ended up with Kamala, which everyone knows she wasn't going to win. And he went to Broadway, I think, to try to kind of heal that, because a lot of people go to Broadway and they do plays in New York to try to fix their reputation or their situation, because it's a serious, because it's a serious.
To be taken seriously.
To be taken seriously.
Is it Brent?
And John was so good, my gosh. But George Clooney is making billions of dollars. It's like record. He's breaking records on Broadway. So good for you, George, because you're the reason, or a big reason, they got rid of Biden and Kamala ran, and we won. Thank you very much, George Clooney. Love you. I mean, not in that way, not in this way, but love what you did for our country, because if not for George Clooney, think about it, we may have lost. And it's hard to believe that Biden would win.
Biden would have.
I don't know, though. I mean, we don't know, but Kamala was so bad. I think Biden, they could have kept him in a basement and maybe had like the what is it, Westworld, and had like the computer guy. I think they could have possibly pulled it off with Biden, but Kamala was so bad, there was no way she would win. So thank you,
They have
George
not
Clooney.
invented a cackling robot yet.
Yeah, thank you, George Clooney.
Wow.
I know you're not happy, but we are. Appreciate that.
So he's doing great business there?
Yeah, he's doing well. He didn't do as well as you, but he's doing very well with his show. And he brought us.
Well, he's at Radio City Music Hall, so he has to be doing. Is that where? No, he's where Back to the Future was, right?
Yeah, that's right.
So he's in a
Winter
real.
Garden, I think maybe
he's in a Winter Garden. He's in a big theater. Yeah.
And that's great and good for him, because you brought us Donald Trump. Thank you, George. I know you hate me saying that, and I know. Well,
I'll drink to him for that. Yep. There you go.
Oh, you're empty.
I am.
You want to go get some more?
I will. I don't know what you're going to say when I'm not here.
Wow, everything, all good stuff. It's always good stuff.
Text me what she says. Oh, you want more too?
Yeah, a little bit more. I think the pomegranate juice is good. And lately,
give her a single, Tony.
And lately, John and I have been trying to be a little more healthy, because some of you kind of come down almost like, well, you shouldn't be drinking alcohol. Well, look, it's up to you what you drink. You want to drink milk every day? Great. You want to drink water only? Great. But we are in the liquor business. John Schneider's revenue is reserve. We also have Servino Vito, and we're getting into more liquor. So when we do this, usually it's like maybe 1.5, especially if it's champagne. We'll do a whole bottle, and that's like 2 glasses. But it's usually like 1 glass, 1.5, and that's it. But we are trying to be a little more healthy and thinking about that. And John does his electrocution suit, which he did today, and you can tell that John's huge. He used to be like, I mean, his build was always good. But since he's done that suit, he's like Superman. He's got the Superman look. He's got the Superman body. And by the way, we are going to California. We're going to Ontario, California. And I think the buzz is big for the new Superman movie. So Smallville reunion. And I think it's about sold out. So, and speaking of sold out, the Somerset show that John is doing on June 27th. Then he's going to do signatures at the car show, June 28th. And by the way, I know I do a lot of by the ways, but I think you all are so smart you can keep up. They're going to do a generally jump over the fountain in town, which is great. For whatever reason, people are going crazy over that. I think we all know why, because people love Dukes of Hazzard in the generally. John's not doing it. I really am happy about that, because I don't want him jumping over the fountain in Somerset, Kentucky. But on the 27th, we're doing a concert. It is almost sold out. So if you want to go to that concert, you better buy your ticket now because it's really close to being sold out. Somerset, that's right. And I was sharing with them your
It's
concert.
mostly pomegranate. I wanted to see if I could show you this. It looks so full, but can you see the top of that ice cube? I don't know if you can, but we got it from the Kentucky Derby, folks, and it's a rose.
The roses
It's
as
a rose.
fast as you can. I love that song, but I don't know all the words.
What did you say while I was gone?
I was talking about Somerset.
Mm.
I was talking about California. All the gold in California. If y'all have known us, I love to sing and I like to dance too. So, do I dance a lot?
A lot.
Yeah, that's my exercise.
I call her Woodstock.
Because
she's like, I did my electric suit this morning.
I told him that.
Oh my
and by
gosh!
the way, last
I'm on
time
level 3 now. Oh.
he suffers. I'm a little worried about it. But last time he didn't have the right underclothes. Oh, okay. Here's the story about a man named Brady. Okay, so we're on our porch, and John hangs like a hillbilly because we kind of are here in Madison. Madison is very lovely, but it's also
I put my workout stuff on a
outside
chair to dry.
And it flew
in the sun, and it blew
over
off
there on our neighbor's building,
roof.
The rooftop, and we can't get it. And John said, "Do we have a fishing pole here?" And I'm like, "Why? We're going
So
fishing."
I can fish my shirt
so
back.
He wanted to take the fishing pole,
my pants back,
and get his shirt and pants back because when he didn't wear that, went and electrocuted him. I'm not joking, and that was what I was worried about. He's going to get electrocuted, and he did. Because he didn't have the right
isolated the charge. I had the wrong.
And it's still over there, right? The shirt and the.
It is. I'm figuring out how to climb on that roof and go.
No, we're going to get a fishing pole. We should. I mean, I guess
I don't want to put a hole in my because that'll hurt too.
I don't know what to tell you.
Okay,
let's not hang our laundry outside unless we have the clothespins. That's the.
No, it was so windy it blew the screen door.
That's the lesson of the day. Oh yeah, our screen door's up, and when we came back, and we mentioned this last week, I think, that birds.
Oh, it was weeks ago. There were birds. Yeah.
Yeah, it was, and there's still like bird gifts on our.
They're not gifts. If you're a bird and you're watching this show, we don't need any more of your bird gifts. So, what was I listening to? Mike Johnson this morning. It was great. They're still talking about trying to pass one big beautiful bill, and I hope they do it. My gosh, I hope they do it. Do you think that they're weakening a little bit in their absurd resolve because they know they're just looking stupid?
I don't think they understand that they're stupid.
Still. I mean, they don't know when the mayor. What mayor was it? The mayor of Newark, wasn't it? Got arrested
for
stopping ICE.
For harboring an ICE person, an illegal alien or something like that.
Well, and somebody assaulted an ICE officer.
Gosh, how stupid! Oh, you're going to assault an ICE officer? Yeah. Have you ever seen Tom Homan give any chat whatsoever for 30 seconds? I wouldn't want to mess with Tom Homan.
No.
He's tough.
He's like a.
He's like, yeah, I don't care.
It was that bulldog on a Bugs Bunny cartoon. It was a bulldog. Boom, 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 boom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They cannot go back. Well, what about the kids here? They can go back too. He didn't care.
We'll deport all the families together.
Yeah, one big happy family.
If that sounds cruel, you're watching the wrong podcast. You're watching the wrong podcast. If that sounds cruel. That's what. So it's been fun watching what's going on out there in the world.
What's going on? What's going on? I can't help it.
Try.
I'm a happy camper. I think it's good to like sing and have music in your life. Don't you? I'm serious.
I
mean, a lot of these kiddos, I want to go back to kiddos being abused. A lot of times, seriously.
Talking about that?
Well, we talked about the mask, but I'm going to also bring this up. That a lot of schools say cut the music programs, and I'm so against that. Because I think, in my opinion, music is super duper duper important for development and feeling better. And, there's only so many math classes you can take.
And I think it's important for all people to explore the origins of music, to find out where this beat came from, where this notion came from, to listen to Beethoven, to listen to Tchaikovsky,
Yeah.
listen to some of the great masters, um, just to try to understand. You know, music was written many times. Those wonderful fighting songs, they were written
Oh, those are
specifically
great.
to bolster up a fighting force.
And it works.
They were written specifically to calm down a fighting force, and it worked. You know, music. What do they used to say? Music
lullabies
something
for
about
babies. There's a reason for
calms
that.
the savage beast.
It can.
But yeah,
Sure.
lullabies. And there's music on YouTube. I listen to music or noise on YouTube to go to sleep. It helps me. It helps me a lot. So music is important. So them dropping the music is just insane.
It's so wrong, but a lot of schools they just don't even have music classes. That's what's part
Well,
of
they don't have music. They
the
don't have
arts.
home ec.
The arts, just the
They
arts.
don't have driver's ed. They don't have sex ed. So you got people listening to very strange, angry music. Can't drive a car worth shit, and they're driving into some. You know, they're going to go see their girlfriend because they don't understand sex ed either. Gee, how'd that happen? It's just terrible. And you know, I have never, in my defense, I have never balanced a checkbook or reconciled a checkbook either.
Well, thankfully, you don't have to do
But
that now.
I took classes in it. So if I had to, I think with maybe an hour class with somebody, I could figure out how to do that poorly. But still, people need to know these basic things. They need to know how to do laundry. They need to know how to do the dishes. They need to know how to vacuum. And they don't teach any of that stuff. So it's no wonder all of common sense has been eliminated.
Did you take home ec in school?
Did I what?
Take home ec.
Oh yeah, you had to. It was required. So was driver's ed.
Emma Price was our home ec teacher. I still love her. She's great. And and did you do 4-H?
I did not do 4-H.
I took 4-H. I did like food and clothing, the basic, and that was so much fun. Because you bake and cook, and and then you get medals or you don't. And made a skirt.
Did you get a medal?
I did.
Of course you did.
I made a really pretty skirt, a lavender skirt. It was fun.
Sorry, something is written up there.
But John is the
add effects using hand gestures. I don't think I want to do that right now.
What? No.
Get rid of that.
John, I'll never forget. I think I mentioned this before that 3 or 4 doors down we have a sewing place.
Oh yeah.
They have all the material. They have all kinds of material. They have people that will sew buttons on and whatever. So John went over and then he came back with this, just carrying a sewing machine, not in a box, nothing.
It was huge.
He was carrying a sewing machine in his hand, and I'm like, okay. And then he was sewing on his electrocution suit. Now,
I fixed my electric suit, and I made our green screen, which we're not using right now. I think next time maybe, I don't know. It's all right with the sun coming in and out. But yeah, I went to sewing, as they say. I used to sew with my grandmother. My dad used to do automobile upholstery and airplane upholstery. So, I come by that skill naturally, or at least the interest in that skill. It's complicated.
It is.
Well, we're downstairs here hanging up clothes because there's a bunch of clothes downstairs that were in bags.
And John did a makeshift hat hanger thing. Tell him about that.
Well, it's not very good, but it was a good idea.
It's a great idea.
So it's basically a clothesline with clothespins, and clothespins have a little circle in them before the grabber.
And if you use that with your electrocution suit,
it's too heavy.
The electrocution stuff would not be on that rooftop. I'm just saying, if you use the clothespins for your electrocution suit, you wouldn't have lost it, and you would.
Whoa! What the heck was that? How did that happen? You didn't press go.
I did.
You didn't. It's not going. Oh, that one. Mm-hmm. We have a timer. Try to help us understand how long we need to talk. Where were we? We had to move inside because it got too hot out there. And she was going to get sunburned. I don't mind getting sunburned. And by the way, since we're talking about sunburn, the number one thing to help strengthen you with regard to cancer is vitamin D. So why in the world do oncologists everywhere tell you to stay out of the sun? What are we finding out? What do we heard this today about we should be on the same plane here, girl, because you look smaller than, I mean, you are smaller than me, but not that much. They are trying to break up the relationship.
Break up to make up that. I had to, I'm sorry. Okay.
The relationship between the insurance companies and the pharmaceutical companies, because they drive the prices up. I don't know why it would be in the best interest of the insurance companies to pay so much money, but maybe it's a write-off. What do you think?
Because then they're able to say, oh, we can't afford it, so they have to charge more for insurance. It's a scam.
So they charge the people more for insurance.
That's
because
right.
They are intentionally
we're in trouble.
paying
And then they
Big Pharma. They're overpaying Big Pharma. But what is President Trump doing right now? What was the bill he signed? Doesn't come into effect right away, but he, I believe, is cutting the price
way down.
By at least 50%.
Way down.
So that's a big thing there. That's a big thing there. He's also getting rid of, they've got to pass this, of course, but he wants to get rid of tax on tips. He wants to get rid of tax on Social Security. He wants to make it so people who make less than, I think it's $125,000 a year, don't have to pay taxes at all. How wonderful is that? And where is this money going to come from? They say, oh, he's giving tax breaks for the rich. No, he's not. Tax breaks are going to be tax breaks for everybody, but he's bringing in a lot of the money to not subsidize, that's the wrong word. But through these tariffs, which we are finding, and everybody was in such an uproar about these tariffs. Oh, tariffs don't work. They don't work. They don't work. Well, they do, because they're working. They're working now. So what are you, you're oddly quiet.
I'm just listening.
Well, say something.
I think you're on a roll. Well, whenever you get China coming around, it's working. Because China is not going to want to come around, but they did. And everybody else folded in 2 seconds. They took longer than anyone else, but now they're like, okay. Because President Trump...
And we're only talking 2 weeks.
President Trump is just going to do what he says he's going to do. Hello, what a concept. Reagan was a peace through strength guy. That is where you heard that. And Donald Trump's even more so. He really is. He's great. He's just killing it.
Well, he's adding an element of it's so odd to say it, but he's adding an element of fun to it.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it's fun.
Because he's not just mean. He's not mean.
And he's dancing. That would have been great if they had danced. Holy moly.
Oh, gosh.
That would have been great.
Young man.
So we're going to go out west, in an hours. I don't know how many hours, but in hours.
So, by the time you see this, we'll already be out west.
Yeah, and back, by the way. So
if you see it on Monday, then we'll be back by then. But,
right. Young man.
And we're going to a wonderful wedding. We're going to Jamie and Brittany's wedding in Franklin, Tennessee. It's going to be a lot of fun.
But before that,
wonderful people, dear friends. What?
Before that, we're going to go to Kid Rock's place.
Well, we're going to the pre-party.
The pre-party.
Because he came to our party, so we're going to go to his. We're going to go to Jamie's pre-party at Kid Rock's Badass Honky Tonk. There on
that's what he calls
on Broadway.
Just like your Badass Raptor.
Badass Raptor. Yeah, but they made him take the donkey's ass off the sign.
What?
Yep. When that place first showed up. Actually, I think they made him take ass off the sign.
Oh, really?
I'm shocked he did it.
In Michigan or in Nashville?
Excuse me, in Nashville. Yeah.
I think Nashville.
Because there ain't no ass on Broadway. Uh-huh. Yeah, terrible.
Broadway's crazy.
Broadway is crazy.
I mean in Nashville, not Broadway, New York.
They say the neon lights are bright.
On Broadway. Clearly, we know the better singer in their group.
It's fun to sing in 2 different keys at the same time.
For us. Maybe not for you.
Maybe not for your ears.
We have fun. We have music in our life every day. we try to do some activity, right? You know, either golf or pool or duck pin bowling.
You sing more than I do. I should sing more. It's so funny. I can, if I'm in front of a microphone in a studio or out on a stage, I can sing. But people sing a song. People, there's some who can and just shouldn't.
I know.
But I
like
just in the like casual singing, sitting around kumbaya, I can't do it. I don't know why. I can't do it. But I sure love singing on stage. I can't wait to do the show here on late night, the 3rd of July into the 4th of July, kicking off the John Schneider Happy Birthday America 50 State Tour.
Woo!
Her idea. Good idea.
She's worth it. Can you only sing a line, please? Na 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 na.
She's worth. I can't. She's worth it. That's what.
We. Hell no. You know you can do that. You can do this. Come on. Don't act like you.
That's what are those words?
That's what.
It's not. That's what.
All right. Well,
that's why we won't give up. Hell no. Hell no. In this lost world, she's our hero. Freedom isn't free. It's up to you and me. Brother, I believe when it's time to toss the tea. I hope when you heard that song, you heard that line. Because it was time. That was when Biden and Harris were still there. And it was time to toss the tea, y'all.
And that's when they said
she's worth it.
You wanted his assassination.
God,
I know
really?
you didn't say it. I'm just saying.
Then why are you perpetuating that bullshit?
I'm not perpetuating it.
You just said it right there.
I don't know where he is, but he's nowhere to be seen. But my point is that they were saying that against John because they were so worried about Biden, because they, knew that he was in trouble, and John did not say that.
Look, we have lights out here. I forgot. I did not say that. There's a difference between a hanging and a lynching. There's a difference. So there have been many people.
Call for his assassination.
No, I called for him to be tried for treason, and if found guilty, then the remedy for treason is all the way up to you can get rid of your library card, or it's hanging. It just kind of is. It's not me. I didn't make that shit or stuff up. That's just how it is. So that's what I said, and I still believe that both Joe Biden and Hunter Biden and many of the people in his cabinet are guilty of treason. They sold out the United States for their own personal gain. The definition of treason is not that broad. It's not. What was that thing they tried to get? They tried to get President Trump on the first term.
That was also stupid.
Gosh.
He won.
No, but there was a big word they used. Oh hell. Anyway, it sounded very, very bad and very, very. It's not like crimes and misdemeanors. What is Anyway, treason. Quid pro quo? No, that was. And I'll tell you what.
Something in sedition.
Yes, yeah. It's not insurrection. Anyway, you watch Joe Biden. Where was it? Ukraine.
Bottom line, if you're getting money from a foreign country and it can make you change your mind, that's treason, folks.
Right, and if you are withholding funding to a country until they give you what you want, that is extortion, blackmail, and quid pro quo. Look at the video of Joe Biden bragging about what he did as vice president, where he was withholding $1 billion unless they fired the prosecutor who was prosecuting Hunter Biden. You remember that?
Yes, but the big thing is whenever you take money from a foreign country, and you should never do that, as a
they're talking about the airplane.
Elected official.
Right.
And that's right. They're making a big deal.
So I'm making a big deal about this 747 that was given. And President Trump is very clear. And if you read everything, it's very clear. This is given to the United States of America. not to President Trump. This is given to us as a bridge so that there will be a new Air Force One while Boeing is twiddling their
What
thumbs or
is it?
whatever the hell they're doing.
Arabiola or Mar-a-Lago, something like Sada Lago, or I don't know.
Now,
but
to
they-
me, that's a little scary because you get this plane. Is there some sort of planned
well,
obsolescence
you
in it?
know that
I don't
they'll
know.
sweep it.
Oh my God, they're going to sweep it.
Yeah, they're going to sweep it, clean it.
But I love President Trump. He said, no, they're not giving me this. But then when they said, why are you accepting this? He said, well, I could say no, and make them take a check for $500 million or
But
$1
it was
billion.
why not?
But I could also just say thank you. Well, what would you do? I think I might just say thank you. Of course, they're going to check to make sure it's not the Trojan horse, right? But high crimes and misdemeanors, high crimes. That's what they were going after President Trump for in his first high crimes. Well, if telling the head of a country you are and holding up a check for $1 billion and saying, I will not give you this unless you thus and so, if that's not a high crime, if that's not quid pro quo, then what the hell is it? And why did no one on the, I guess it's just fake news, why did no one, why were they not up in arms about that? Why are they not celebrating the fact that President Donald J. Trump just got a hostage, a young man? I had no idea this fellow was so young, who'd been in captivity for over 500 days in the dark, from what I understand. Yeah, I saw that on the news. I don't know if that's true. But what did he give them for it? Nothing.
Zero.
The promise that unless something over there happens to you, I will not affect your ability to breathe tomorrow. What did the Biden administration give per hostage? Many, many bad people got out of jail and went back because of the bullshit, pardon me, deal that the Biden administration made for our folks. It's just terrible. I hope you can see the difference here. I hope even folks who are not, and I know there are a lot of people who are not fans of Donald Trump, but I'll tell you what, there are people out there in my lifetime, I would rather have a conversation with someone who truly believes what they're saying, even if we disagree, that somebody who truly believes what they're saying and they are willing to give whatever they can, whatever they have, even up to the last full measure to fight for what they think is right. And if you disagree with them, that's okay.
That's the American
way. I'm
believe.
back to being William Shatner. Why?
No, we believe that you should be able to disagree because in China you can't. You'll go to jail. In America, you should be able to do whatever you want. I mean, I'm more of a libertarian than a Republican. I mean, I am a lifelong Republican. I was on a Republican National Committee. I was chairman of the National Young Republicans. I am full-on Republican. Libertarians never win. It's always going to be a Democrat or a Republican. But libertarian is more like, hey, leave us alone. Like, it's none of your business what John Schneider does in his personal life. None of your business. And he's going to do what he wants to do. I think everybody should. As long as not hurting little kids and puppies.
Absolutely. And puppies.
I mean, really. I mean, as long
or
as
kitty cats. I like kitty cats.
Yeah, as long as you're not hurting anyone else, you should, in your free time, be able to do whatever you want. I don't care.
I agree.
Right? I mean,
Absolutely
to me,
agree.
that's the American way is freedom. And people shouldn't tell you what to do all the time.
And you should be free to grasp any brass ring you see fit. That's what opportunity is.
Let me add this too, if I may, baby. So I remember this and give you a back scratch.
Oh, I feel more like Baloo from Jungle Book every day. Oh,
so what I don't like about some Republicans is they're very judgmental about people's lifestyle, and I'm like, you know what? And this is like a fight in the Republican Party, just so you all know. So I'm in the belief that you should be able to do whatever you want, love whoever you want, do whatever you want, as long as you don't hurt anyone. But some of these social conservatives, you can't be gay, you can't do drugs, you can't drink. Well, screw you, because guess what? The American way is you should have whatever freedom that you want, as long as you're not hurting anyone else.
Exactly. Our timer just went off, and I've got to say this.
It did. 14 minutes left.
No, that's a reset on the time.
Oh.
No. But I'm going to agree with everything Dee Dee just said, and I want to say that we live in the greatest country in the world. One of the reasons is that we can pursue happiness however we define it.
Life, liberty, and the pursuit,
of happiness. Doesn't mean the gift of happiness. Nobody's going to give you anything. That's a construct of people trying to buy votes. That's I think what President Grant was talking about when he called the people in that hotel, you're nothing but a bunch of lobbyists, because there were people waiting to ask for favors, and they were in the lobby of the hotel. That's where the term lobbyist came from. I can't remember the hotel, but they were doing something to the White House, and he was not living there. Anyhow, so you are free to do what you want.
And a lot of it's a Donald J. Trump.
To strive to do what you want. Nobody's telling you that your dream since you were 4 years old is wrong. They're saying go for it. Go for it. And if there are things that you feel are wrong in society, then go through the proper channels to try to change them.
Run for office, or raise money against a candidate or for a candidate. That's the American way. That's the system. Democracy is messy, but it's worth it. And
she's worth it.
And we are a republic, not a democracy. And that is the big history lesson of the day.
Yeah.
One more thing.
I have one more thing too.
Love.
What?
Will you go first?
So my big thing, I'm going to talk to Christians out there. I do a lot of Christian talk shows and things. My big thing to you all is that you were put here to do something very special. I don't know what it is. I think we're all specifically designed to do something very special, but I can tell you what it's not. It's not judging other people and their lifestyle or what they want to do, unless, of course, they are hurting kittens, puppies, children. If they're doing bad things, then yes, I agree. Yeah. But if they're doing things that you disagree with, it's none of your business. None of your business. Okay? If they are, in fact, are you, I said this from a pulpit once, and it was like crickets. I said, are you so secure with eternity? Are you such good friends with God that you have enough time on your hands to get into my shit? That's what I said at a church. My shit? I don't think so. I don't think anybody out there has got their ducks in a row enough that they've got spare time and the right to tell me or her or you or you or you or you or you that you're doing something wrong. Because you know what? Business. God is a pretty big God. If you believe in God, wonderful. If you don't believe in God, that's okay, because God believes in you. So if you are doing something that upsets God, God will tell you.
Yeah. It's not
I don't need to tell you.
She
doesn't need to tell you. And if you think we're doing something that upsets God, stay out of it. He will tell us when the time comes. I rest my case. You had one more thing you were going to say.
Yes, one more thing. So what show is that when they would say on the 5, they'd say one more thing, I think. So anyway, I want to ask you, who's your favorite American president and your least favorite? I know the answer, but I want you to.
My favorite American, do you want me to, we don't have time for me to elaborate.
Well, we can do that on
my favorite American president is Donald J. Trump. Twice. Okay. My least favorite American president is a toss-up, actually. Yeah, because they both did a lot of the same things, and we can't go into this right now. And this is a great way to end this, because people are going to go, oh,
it's a cliffhanger.
Did he say that? My least favorite American president, A, is, of course, Joe Scranton Biden. My second least, and I think it's history that's done this to him. If you study history, you're not going to be as big a
history degree.
You're not going to be as big a fan of Abraham Lincoln as you've told you are. So those are my two, Joe Biden and Abraham Lincoln. I think they're a lot alike, but not for the reasons Joe Biden claims.
So I'm in reverse.
How about you?
I'm in reverse order. Thank you for asking. So my least favorite president is Obama.
I'm sorry, Barack, I left you out, but you're not an American citizen, so you shouldn't have been president in the first place.
I think he just started all of this. Terrible.
He's the ringmaster of the shit show.
Now, forget Biden. He's just a pawn. I mean,
Mongo only pawn. Tell me what movie that was from.
Yeah, Obama. I mean, they would literally like say things against America. Forget you. And I don't even think he and Michelle or.
Then he came out. Then he came out and he said things against black males, thinking that was going to help Kamala Harris win. Gosh. I mean, what did Bugs Bunny say? What a maroon.
I mean, he's a great speaker. I mean, and charming and all that, but I think bad. Like, in my opinion, Barack Obama was the worst president we ever had. Now, in reverse order, I have a toss-up of my favorites.
Okay.
You know who they are.
She's going to say our first president and our current president.
Yes. I love George Washington. I think you look like him. I think you could play him. George Washington, against all odds, made our country, just amazing. The stories and being having a history degree and loving, the fact that the Americans won in Revolutionary War against all odds. I just love it. And it wouldn't have happened without George Washington. So thank you, George. He's in the tomb.
George Washington's dream became really the American dream.
Yeah, really amazing. Agree. But I love Donald J. Trump. And you know what? I even worked for President Bush, and I feel a little bit bad that I don't put him number one. But I do love George Bush as well.
He shouldn't be there.
But I just have to be honest. It is a toss-up. Like John's worst presidents, my best presidents are absolutely number one.
I think it's great.
45.
So tell us that we got to go.
Yeah, we got to go. We went way over. Sorry.
No, you're way over.
Sorry.
We made up for that one that was only 34 minutes long.
We've done short as well.
So tell us, who is your favorite?
Your favorite president? Where do you think we should take the American tour? Go ahead, Big Bill.
Yeah, your favorite president, your least favorite president. Where you think we should go when we do the happy 250th birthday America tour?
If you have contacts, let us know. We're booking away.
Yep, we're booking away. Now, some places we're going to go, we're going to do it like I have this notion of going to 4 points, which is Arizona, Utah, Nevada, and Colorado, and putting a bar stool with 1 foot in each spot and sing a song. I don't know. I think they might have it a little more protected than that, but they might let us
figure it out.
They might let us.
We'll figure it out.
We'll figure it out. Until next week, we are John
and Dee Dee
with drinks. That was all inverted, but all the words were there. We love you. You take care. Stay what?
Stay happy.
Stay free. Stay dreaming. Go for it. Live in the country designed for you to go for it, whatever it is. Bye.